The track is so porous that one thing is it's you're down here at the beach and it's sandy, and there's a lot of sand that'll get on the racetrack, but it's so porous it'll go down in the pores, so it won't get slick from the sand, but this place is going to get slick from wearing tires out. And that's going to be the battle all day, I'm convinced.
Yeah, and one of the reasons you're seeing the cars make so many laps around right now is they're trying to blow off the dirt that's there. As I said, 72 degrees, mostly sunny, a few clouds in the sky, but nothing in the way of any kind of rain or precipitation this afternoon, half a mile, banked oval, and fast, underline it 3 times. It's a quick racetrack.
It is very fast. The corners are big enough here where you don't get off the throttle very long.
Yeah, 7 degrees straightaways and 17-degree bank turns here, and I tell you, I rode around this thing last year in one of the open-wheel Hooter Cup cars, and whoo! I mean, it is lightning fast, and they were down qualifying in the low 17s, and I tell you, Mike Garvey got one of the smoothest laps, of all the guys the other day, and he does that so well. He's such a great qualifier. I don't know if Garvey's got the stuff to hang with Purvis and Gill and some of these guys that are up front off the right, and Dave Mader certainly is going to be bad fast right off the start here, but Mike Garvey did a great job, and just to win the pole here, again, real impressive. Let's go down to the pits and check in with Mark Allen.
Well, Pat, there's a real good chance that we'll see a different winner of this year's race. In the 27 previous events, 20 different drivers have gone to victory lane. We do have one multiple winner in the field today, Rich Bickle, but it looks like it could be absolutely wide open this afternoon.
Yeah, and we're all going to take bets as to whether Mark's voice lasts the whole broadcast. We're certainly hoping so anyway, Mark, as again, we're clearing off the racetrack. The fans are giving the guys out there a big wave right now, and we're just about ready to do business with the 28th annual Snowball Derby. Eddie, in your mind, I got to believe it's just let's try to survive the first wreck, right?
Oh, you're always going to get somebody a little antsy, but that is the secret to this race and any of these long races is in your mind you got to hope that the guy in front of you is using his head, and this thing, the first 200 laps has survived.
You ran a lot of these races. What's the guy thinking about right now? I mean, get the belts tight. What's he doing in the race car?
Hoping all the nuts and bolts are tight. Hoping those last-minute guesses and spring changes were the right way to go. The racetrack's hopefully going to come to them. And like I said, that this is why they're here. This is when everybody, from a driver's standpoint, this is when I calm down. This is when I go to work.
Well, and these guys are getting ready to go to work. Flagman just gave them 1 to go. Jeff Purvis on the outside, Mike Garvey on the inside on the pole for the 28th annual running of the Snowball Derby. And I'll tell you what, folks, we're going to have some fun this afternoon. If you love short track racing at its dead level best, hang on for the next 3 hours. We are going to entertain you. 1 to go. They're in the middle of the backstretch. It's gonna turn into Garvey's game here in a second. The pace car goes away, Eddie. Does he control the start of this thing?
Yeah, the pole sitter always controls the start, but I don't think it's going to last long. I got a feeling that 51 car is going to probably...
Hang on, Garvey gets a little bit sideways. Green flag, and we've started the 28th annual Snowball Derby, and already the dirt is flying. That's dust, folks. Nobody's going anywhere off the racetrack. Great start for the 91 car of Mike Garvey. And look at that, Eddie. Already here comes Dave Mader. He knows he wants to get up front and stay out of that first incident, winning if it comes.
Yeah, that race car led this race last year quite a bit, if you remember, before it fell out and broke. So Dave Mader is in probably one of the best race cars on the racetrack.
It is a great look at field. Mader looks inside of Garvey there for just a second and then thinks better of it, and now gets down there low again. And I tell you, coming off of that 4th turn there, especially with as much dirt as on a racetrack, you got to kind of tiptoe right now, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely trying to get the racetrack clean, and the race cars are probably hooking up better than it appears with the dust, because, like I said, the dust is down in the racetrack, so they need to get some heat in the tires, get everything cleaned up, and but believe me, they're racing already.
The front 3 have basically kind of checked out there with Mike Garvey up in the front. Dave Mader holds on to the 2nd spot, and that, by the way, is in Dickie Anderson's car. Dick, if you're listening to us this afternoon, I think he's actually here at the track.
Yes, he
Dick
is.
had a bad accident a few weeks ago, not even in a race car, but being outside the race car. Got Dave Mader to come in and drive the car, and what a great story that would be this afternoon if he could win it for Dickie Anderson.
Oh, absolutely.
And we found ourselves our first accident of the day. Looks like Jimmy Cope there.
Yeah, Tammy Joe was involved.
Number 5 car of Brooks, and Tammy Joe, I think, got away with that. John Crow sliding around it there. That's the number 4 car
Randy Fox.
Randy Fox that's up against the wall, the Hooters sponsored car, and he starts to back it up. Looks like he may have just grazed the wall, and he doesn't look like he hit it that hard. Well, yeah, I take that back now that I can see the tire. Yeah, that's a pretty severe hit, I would say.
You know, these cars are extremely safe. They're well built, and but the suspension's on them. I mean, you don't have to hit very hard, and you're gonna bend something, and usually it.
That's a tough break, but you know, everybody that started this show just a few minutes ago had to be thinking, please, not me, not the first one. Let me stay out of that first wreck. But unfortunately for Randy Fox here, he is in the first one. They're trying to get the jack under the car to see how much damage they've done. But from the looks of the wheel that they had been around there, he may have really got some frame rail work seriously hit on the car.
Yeah, it looked like the upper A-frame was broke, which is usually the first thing to go, or a ball joint. And so they're going to be in there for a little bit.
All right, let's take a look and see if we can find out how Mr. Fox got himself into this position here of being in the pits this early. Here's the replay. And there we go.
Yeah.
Looks like we had a little help back here. This is Tammy Joe going sideways in front of us, and it looks like that's the Lonnie Rush Jr. Car there, the blue car that got it all started with the 52, and then everybody else tried to go high, right, Eddie, and just couldn't have any place to go.
Yeah, it was just a bottleneck effect. Watching there's a few of them going to drive away. Jimmy Cope, he hit pretty hard. He got up in the air when he hit, and just looked like a little antsy.
And that's a really tough break for Lonnie Rush, and I'll tell you why. Lonnie, this is the first time he's been back in a race car since he ran a Busch Grand National race in 1992. He finished 4th at Bristol in '92 in a Busch race, and you know, this year that's a Bill Elliott car, and he wanted me to make sure that everybody knew how much he really appreciated Bill Elliott, the Hardy Boy Racing team, McDonald's and Coke, and all those guys helping out and getting Lonnie, you know, back in this thing. As we're taking a look right now at John Crow, he's bringing his car around, and looks like the hood is off on it, but a really tough break for Lonnie Rush and group. Now Crow is going to obviously try to catch back up here as to not get too many laps down. That's the problem with this race. If you get laps down, it is real tough to make them back up.
Yeah, it's any short track's tough to make a lap up. In this particular series, they do let the lap cars go on up and start 2 abreast, so that helps a little bit. You can try to get one back.
It's like a lot of work going on the right suspension of that car.
It looked like it.
Okay, let's go down to Mark Allen.
Well, Pat, a story we're following here on pit road. John Crow came in. He's got a crack in the valve cover. This is important because Crow sits 5th in the Hooters Series points. He can get all the way to 3rd today because Daryl Shulnut blew an engine yesterday afternoon's gone home. Dick Anderson is injured and is not performing. If Crow could finish 4th or better, he moves all the way to 3rd in the points. If he finishes 19th or better, he'll get 4th place. But right now they've got problems on that number 38 car.
Yeah, we're watching that on the screen right now. That's John Crow sitting there. Bill Simpson has been a big supporter of Crow's efforts this year. And I'll tell you what, Eddie, you talk about a guy that jumped from go-karts to legend cars and came on and won in late model. Crow has really done a great job.
Yeah, he's a heck of a nice guy. I got to know John a couple years ago out in Phoenix, and we've become pretty good friends since then. And I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. He's had an opportunity to get in the best equipment.
Yeah, and he qualified. In fact, he qualified in the top 10 at Nashville for the All-American 400 there, which is just, you know, it's just like this race, and it's amazing in terms of the credibility you get from doing well at that race. I see from the signal we got 1 lap to get back to green flag racing, and like I say, it's just one of those deals. John Crow's going to have to deal with the race now from the standpoint of I'm behind and I got to get caught up.
Yeah, now it's time to take a little different approach.
The leader is Mike Garvey as the pace car works the field down the backstretch. Ricky Brooks is pulled up on the inside because he is a lap down. Dave Mater will start, as I said, in the 2nd spot there, and Jeff Purvis, who will have a lot to talk about this afternoon about Purvis and what he's trying to accomplish here this afternoon. But we're just about ready to get back to green flag racing after our first caution flag, and the field's just about to bring it out of turn 4.